Hey guys, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. It has been a while since I've played, at least here on the channel. I played a little bit off camera, but first time recording in probably a couple months, honestly. And there has been a lot of news. Right down here is a big one. That has been released by SES Software over the past few months. I guess not really a few months. Last one we did was the Cruising Iowa event, so it wasn't that long ago. But it's still been a minute. Um, that being said, we are currently on the 1.55 version of the game. The open beta for 1.56 just came out, so that is what we're doing today. And we are actually going to be starting our, I want to say, owner-operator series. That's what we're aiming for. It's going to be a realistic economy, very realistic style gameplay. If you guys have not checked out my Euro Truck Simulator 2 video that I did earlier this week, it's going to be very similar to that. It's pretty much the exact same, just with a couple different mods. I'll actually go over all the stuff that I'm going over now. All the stuff that'll be in the game, as you guys see here. Some of the mods in here I've edited for my own personal liking, just to make it everything that I want it to be. So we do have our GDC Logistics Realistic Economy mod. I did alter some files for my liking on this mod, just so that way it's more in tune to what I wanted it to be. So just bear that in mind, but everything else is the same. Things I edited was like the police spines. I made them more realistic to what they are in real life. And then I also edited some of the bank information when it comes to getting loans. I didn't make it anything easier. Just put that out there. By default, this mod makes it so you can get a loan from day one. And it's like a pretty sizable loan, like $100,000. So I changed that. I made it harder. So that means we have to wait. We have to be a driver for hire for a minute, and then we can get a loan to buy our trucks. So that's the way I had it, and I have it set up in steps. So slowly but surely, as we be a driver for hire, we can actually start making more money, and then we'll start being able to take out more money, essentially building our reputation up. I do have some improved dashboard mods in here, not too many of them. GPS for quick jobs, just because there are trucks that don't have GPS. We will be using GPS. This is not a no GPS gameplay. Google navigation, night, dark theme. This is replacing the old one. It is on the Steam Workshop. There is a little bit of a difference in here compared to the old one. I also edited this, fine-tuned it to my liking. You guys saw that if you watched the ATS2 series video that I did earlier this week. It's the exact same mod, just for American Truck Simulator. Sound fixes pack in the ATS here. We also have some cargo replacement and cargo packs. So we have some of those. Again, all available in the Steam Workshop. Some traffic packs. We have a SES stock company vans, step vans, Ford Transit vans, ATS company AI traffic skins, trucks and trailer traffics. This is the real companies in there. And then I saw this one this week on the Steam Workshop, the Coach skin pack for AI traffic. So I'm giving that a try. I have not tried that just yet. Realistic train lengths, and then realistic traffic density, and then mere FOV mod, and then I'm trying this one out. I tried it out in ETS2, and so far I like it, so trying it out here. And then air transmission sounds, again, available on the Steam Workshop. I do have the Roland mod key. I do not have the updated Roland 389 in here. I do have this one, but I am saving that until we get our own truck. Once we do get our own truck, that'll be in there. I'm debating if I want to have modded trucks in here. I'm just not sure. So that may be coming in, but based upon what happened prior in the Cruising California series that I did last year, where we got our own truck and then the mod became incompatible. I don't know if I want to go that route. So I might keep it just vanilla trucks. Plus, with all the updates that are coming up, I don't know how that's going to work with truck mods. So I'm kind of on a waiting pattern here on that, at least. So, but that are the mods that we're going to be using. This is the same profile we did our driving academy on, so just bear that in mind. As you guys can see, this is the driving academy here. I'll just load it up real quick to show you guys. So we did complete the truck driving basics. We did not do truck driving proficiency. I might do that at some point. You can see 30 out of 30. I might do this one at some point. I just don't want to do it just yet. I'm not sure when I will. I might do it in a live stream. We'll see. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and load up, start our game. I do not have a save file in here, so it's going to be a brand new game. Alright, go ahead and select the city we want to start in. This is a good example here of the map mod that I used for the Google Maps. If you guys look on your phone, if you're in America at least, I'm not sure how it is in other countries, but if you have dark mode enabled on Google Maps, that's assuming you have Google Maps, not Apple. When you zoom out, if you have live traffic on, you see all the highways are highlighted green, just to indicate live traffic that the roadway is clear. So that is what the look I went for the job screen. So as I zoom out, that's all the highways. That's what I was aiming for. And so we got that. Once we go inside the actual world map and then also on GPS, that changes. So I can show you guys a bit better when we get in there. Where do we want to start? I was kind of hoping for Chicago, but I really want to start the series sooner than that. Do we want to start in Oklahoma City? Let's do it. Let's start in Oklahoma City, and then when Illinois comes out, we'll move to Chicago. I live here in Wisconsin, but I do have a good buddy of mine that lives in Oklahoma. So shout out to you, man, if you're watching this. And then, or anybody else living in Oklahoma City, or the state of Oklahoma anyway. So I do have some friends out there. I do not want to walk to the tutorial. And I visited Oklahoma, in Oklahoma City. It's a really, really nice city. The Sky Bridge. So we are here in American Truck Simulator, getting our chance to experience our dream job of driving a truck. So we now own our own trucking business, and unfortunately we do not have the money to buy a truck. So for now we'll have to work for other companies as a driver for hire. Our task is simply to deliver waste paper to the Municipal Waste Management dock in Oklahoma City. Our employer has provided us with a vehicle to cover, and will cover all expenses, so don't let anybody down and arrive on time. So let's go ahead and do it. We should be starting in a Kenworth, I believe. Get everything loaded in. We are in. All right, take a look at our truck real quick here. Shoptown. Never heard of it. Gotta love it. So we are in a nice Kenworth T680 next gen. I really like the look of this truck. When they first revealed this, I really did like it. Just very sleek looking. I like it more than the Peterbilt next gen. We'll go ahead and adjust our mirrors, push out our FOV, slide the chair up. I am using an ultra-wide monitor. That's why the screen is a little bit different for you guys. I actually have to turn this on in order for those to work. I mapped a new control for getting into this because what I use to look around is called Trek IR. It's a head tracking software, and if I go too close to my keyboard, which is behind my wheel, I end up leaning forward and then end up missing the, like, I end up too far forward to get the right view, so I just have to make multiple adjustments. It's kind of annoying. I'll push that out. Bring it forward. There we go. Okay. Let's get our truck in. Fire it up. Turn our lights on. Turn on our four-ways. Make sure all of our lights are working. Do a little bit of a pre-trip here. So we'll just do a light check. We can't really check the tires, and tires are good. It's a used truck anyway. They're not going to have us with a, you know, not so good truck. Can't really check the back of the trailer. It looks like we're up against the dock. So, but everything else is working pretty good. We'll turn those off. We don't need our lights on. Also, just to get it out of the way, in case anybody is wondering what I am using the Moza Racing Truck Sim wheel with the Moza R5 base, multifunction stocks, load cell pedals, and the Moza shifter with ATS accessories, shift knob, custom shift knob, and a Patriot XL button box. So I don't provide links in the description to any of those. If you guys are interested, you guys can check them out. I believe we're in, nope, we're in manual. Alright. I'm not sure what, this just should be at 12 speed, so it should be automatic, but it is what it is. We'll figure it out. And then for those who are, I don't have a wheel cam up right now, but for those of you who make that comment that I don't double shift or double clutching, I am actually double clutching for manual. That's why I prefer to drive automatic right now. But even then, the game doesn't fully simulate double clutching as it should. There is a slight, I did notice, slight difference. If I release the clutch and, or when I release the clutch to repress the clutch, if I put it in gear too quickly, it actually is a delay. So, I don't know. It's not fully there yet. I'm going to go ahead and switch it to automatic, because this truck is an automatic, I believe. Let me actually double check that. It should be under, there it is. We are in a pack car 12 speed, so that is an automatic transmission. So we'll go ahead and switch that to real automatic economy mode. These are the other settings if you guys care to note. I actually have to change some stuff up here a little bit. Just going to add in about 15% stability, and then I think the trailer is fine at 10, so we're good there. Actually, we'll do 20. And then braking intensity, we're actually going to lower that down to about, we'll do 65. Actually, 60%, I think. I forgot which I had this set at before my other profile. I don't remember. It wasn't quite 75. It wasn't 70 either. And I don't think it was as low as 50. Well, let's just go to 70. I feel like that's too high, though. You know, let's just do 50. You know what? Simulate the weight of the truck. All right. Now we're in automatic transmission. There we go. We're also going to hit this viewpoint over here. that works. Yep. There's also a dealership. That's a dealership, and then there's a viewpoint at the truck stop down the way. That's right. I remember this from an offline profile that I had a while back. So a few things that I changed in the mod, the economy mod, as far as the fines. I did not make anything easier. So the fines are going to be heavier, based upon realistic traffic code. I went by my state's traffic code, which is public knowledge, but I do have access to be able to look up the actual fine amounts, especially for not just passenger car, but actual CDL drivers, commercial vehicles. So the fines do differ, just slightly. There is like an upcharge to them. That's pretty much about it. It's the only difference. But as far as the actual fine amounts, I looked up and tried to be as realistic as possible while meeting the game to make it actually enjoyable. With that being said, they're actual dollar amounts. I just didn't put them at like cents and whatnot, or they're at the nearest dollar. I didn't do anything of these steps, like for example the repeat violations. I didn't worry about those. It's just for the single violation, because I don't think the game has a way to calculate that properly. With that being said, the out of service DOT violation, that is automatic. That will come. I know by default the mod initially had it at like a 30% chance of coming. This is a 90% chance. It's like the equivalent of getting that out of service notification on your ELD. So yeah, that is a nasty fine. That if we're doing a drive and we run out of hours, if we get that fine, you can basically kiss your load, any profit that you're going to make from that load, at least, as well as probably the next one goodbye. So it is a severe punishment to run out of your hours that I had set up, just to make that challenge. And then, as you guys can see, the Google Maps right there, the blue line there for night mode, and then the contrast of colors. So I kept that all the same. So very much similar to how Google Maps look in the real world. You're gonna wait for me? Cool, thanks. Alrighty. It is Oklahoma City, so we are going to run into some traffic. So while we're en route, yellow light, can we make it? Okay, we made it, good. While we're en route to our destination, I might as well go over some of the stuff that has come out or been announced for American Truck Simulator here. First and foremost is Louisiana, South Dakota, Illinois. They're all being worked on. A lot of blog posts being updated on those, sent out. So a lot of information on those. I saw on another YouTube channel, I forgot the name of it, so I apologize. But I saw for the 1.56 open beta, there are secret roads in Illinois. So that may be actually closer than we initially realized. Really surprised by that. I figured it'd be Louisiana coming up first, but that'd be kind of cool if that were to be the case. Someone who's been through Chicago and been in Chicago many times, be really curious to see how that is, the layout of the city. And then other news is SES has announced their road trip expansion for ATS, where you can, I guess it sounds like it's going to be another module as part of the game, where you can drive pickup trucks and cars that are fully licensed and part of the game itself, other than just being a DLC content, where you can just drive the cars around. It sounds like there might be a mechanic where you can actually do like deliveries with them, so I'm really curious on how that's going to pan out when that happens. I did see the live stream that happened the time recording this week, it was a couple days ago, of SES showing the modeling of the Dodge Charger, the General Lee Dodge Charger. That was pretty cool. So far they've only announced the Ford pack, so with the Ford Mustang, I think old style Mustang, not even the new one, the F-150 and the Ford Bronco, and the Crown Victoria, the old school Crown Vic. And then they announced the Dodge and Ram pack, so the Ram 1500, the Dodge Charger, and it sounds like the Challenger. So that's pretty interesting. View of the skyline here in OK City. And then we got the Skydance Bridge over there. Yeah, so a lot of exciting news happening in the world of American Truck Simulator. There's also been another game that was announced, and that is Road Kings. Oop, that car's not letting me over. Thanks. By the people who, the developers that make SnowRunner and MudRunner. So far, they just released the trailer. It looks pretty good, but it is a trailer, so you know that's not actual gameplay. Taking place in the southwest region of the United States. So I'm curious on how that will be. See if it's going to be any good. To compete with American Truck Simulator, it's got a lot to compete with. So, we're going to stop here. Oh, I can't. Almost didn't stop. But, yeah, I'm really curious to see how that will be. Waiting for more information on that. They also announced stuff for ATS 2, which I mentioned in my video over there for that game. Yeah. A lot of interesting things going on lately. A lot of announcements. SES has been busy, that's for sure. So we are going to discover this little viewpoint over here at this truck stop before we deliver our cargo. I believe we make a right-hand turn here. Is it here or up ahead? I think it's up ahead. Yeah, it's up ahead. Pretty sure. If not, we'll just do a U-turn, I guess. Oh, it's right here. There we go. Autos. that's not all that was announced for 1.56. There was more dynamic cargo loading animations. That was kind of cool, as far as the chip ban and stuff like that. I turned a darker color. I think I gotta change that. Mess that up. That's alright. It's the little things I notice. That'll be an easy fix. I'll probably do it after this episode, so you guys will see that change. It should not be a darker color. I think that's the old color I was using, and I had to lighten up the roads, so I'll just change that over. It's just one line of code that I just missed. Alright, let's go ahead and check this out. All right. I think part of my goal with this profile, aside from the realistic playing of it, is going to be trying to visit all the viewpoints throughout the states. One other thing, the reason why I want to change that from being able to be discovered is I don't want to know the roads that I've been on before. For me, it's an issue because when it comes to route planning or route planning, however you pronounce the word, tomato, tomato, if I see a road I haven't been on before, I tend to go on that road even though it's out of my way, just so I can discover the road. If I don't have that capability, I end up not doing it and then picking the best route to me for the delivery. So I guess it's the completionist in me. I just want to avoid that, and just play the game as you would in real life, because in real life, sure, you might be like, oh, I've never been down that road before, but you're not gonna plan to go down that road. At least I hope you wouldn't, but some people might. You never know. But I don't know if that doesn't make sense. Then I don't know how else to describe it. But that's just what my brain thinks of when I'm playing this. So to have a map mod that doesn't show discoverable roads, or doesn't show discovered roads, just shows the roads as is, I'm okay with. Speaking of which, if any of you guys can help me out with this. So as you guys are looking here, you look at Clinton, Lawton, Tulsa, all the cities around Oklahoma City, and you look at the text coloring, and then you look at Oklahoma City because we discovered it. It's a darker color compared to the rest. If there's any way that you can prevent that from happening, please let me know, because I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I prefer it just to remain the color that it is and not worry about it. so far it seems to be tied with whatever color the roads are that are discovered. And I don't know how to change that. If there's no way to fix it, there is no way, but it's just something that that just bugs me. That is the only downside of doing it this way, the way I did it. I don't know if there's any other mod that would be able to hide discovered roads without changing the GPS style. I think it's all about the GPS road colors. Right. Go ahead and make our delivery. Fortunately, another mod that I was using during my time last year with the California trucking series is the municipal police car pack that I was using. I used that quite a bit. That unfortunately was the reason for all the micro stutters, just because the mod doesn't get updated as quickly as the game updates. And I understand it's a lot for a single modder to do, and it seems like that mod has fallen kind of down to the wayside because of the amount that it takes to create that. So that is kind of a shame as well. So I'm not using that mod anymore. I'm not blaming the mod author. I understand it's probably a lot of work to create a mod like that, especially when changing based upon your location in game. So that's a lot of textures to have on vehicles, and custom vehicles as well. It was a nice mod to have, though. A really nice mod. Alrighty. Go ahead and park. Shut down our engine. And then we'll get out and disconnect. Here we go. Did take a little detour, so 45 miles, 50 bucks, 73 experience points. Not bad. This is our headquarters. Pretty basic garage. No trucks there. Though once we earn enough money, this will be our base of operations. Looks like we're kind of on the outskirts of Oklahoma City. Okay. Alright, so we unlocked used truck dealers. We didn't get the notification though, the email. That might be coming soon. Oh, we unlocked that one, that's why. Because we discovered that one. We also discovered used trucks. So the average price, about $95,000 right now. $100,000. We can't even get a loan yet, so... Oh, we got an email. Hey, there we go. Brand new Kenworth trucks for sale in Ardmore. You can visit the showroom. Nice. So now, if we go to truck dealers, you should be able to see that Kenworth one. There you go. So we unlocked our truck dealers, which is nice. And we got our first email from Kenworth. Alright. I'm going to go edit that mod real quick, and then I'll be right back. Alright. That fixed it. As you can see, that's no longer dark. It is the same color as the roads. So, yeah, a little bit of working on my part there. I actually kind of like that spot right there. Wasn't there a different city or different thing in there? Am I thinking of a different... Could have sworn that there was a different business here. I honestly don't remember. It's been forever since I've done that one. Anyway, go ahead and pick our next job here in Oklahoma City. So, let's see. We got another Kenworth. We do a Freightliner going to McAllister. Let's see what we got for price. 182, 207 going to Wichita. It's in a Kenworth T680 and a 10-speed. 207 seems to be the high. No, 218 over here. That's a frac tank. It's in a Mack day cab. Going from Vortex to X-Tech Machinery. Might take that one. 219 was the top pair. Let's see what we got. 232 cables going to Imperial, Kansas. Kenworth W900. And 231 Guymon. $80 going to Arkansas. Wow. Low price on that one. Let's see. 231. 232. I think I'll take the 231. It's in a Freightliner Cascadia tow speed. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. Just because it pays the most. But we'll just take a look. There might be a, sometimes I might pick a job just to drive the truck. But yeah, we'll just take this one. Alright. Well, we got the digital mirrors as well, so go ahead and adjust our seat. Now go ahead and adjust our tilt of the steering wheel. Set that up a little bit. Adjust our mirrors. I'll leave the convex. I think that should be fine. So go to our right mirror. Right convex should come out. Oh, this has got a, that's kind of neat. It's got a digital mirror for the side. I like that. That's kind of cool. Alright. Go ahead and throw down our windows while we fire it up. We should probably get fuel as well. Yeah. Go ahead and fire up. Stock engine sounds in the game. Nothing too crazy. Go ahead, zoom in. Turn our lights on. High beams, hazards. Around the truck. Yeah, nothing too bad. Alright. We don't need our lights on. It is 1 o'clock. Let's take a look at our map here. So we're going to be heading out this way. We're going to be stopping in Clinton. And going to Woodward. So is there a spot where I can get fuel? Right here, I guess. We'll just get fuel here. And then hit the highway after that. That should be good for it's about 4 hours, almost 5 hour trip. With traffic, you never know. We do have this that we're going to take a peek at. watch those. We're going to stop for every viewpoint. I don't know about the screenshots. I think I might skip out on that. Just because you have to actually stop driving for those. And position the camera just takes more time. But we'll see. Maybe in time I might pick those up. But for sure, the viewpoints I want to get. So, alright, let's go ahead and drive. Got 11 hours to make the delivery. Got plenty of time. So, one thing I was wondering about, as far as the road trip expansion module, I guess what you call it, is when it comes to, well, a couple things I was wondering about, actually I mentioned previously, but as far as the amount of the world you can discover, is it the same as the base game, American Truck Simulator? Or are they going to actually dive in a little bit more into the cities? Because as someone who has been to Oklahoma City, as we are on the outskirts of it, there is a lot more area which you would normally be able to drive. So I'm curious how they're going to handle that. If it's not going to change and you're just making deliveries as normal or driving around like a car mod, or is there going to be a bit more to discover? And if they're going to expand the map, then would they have to change the map scale in order to incorporate that? And then would they change it to accommodate the base game? It just kind of goes down a whole rabbit hole of what ifs. So, and unfortunately, we won't have those answers until SCS releases more information on the actual technical part of it. A lot of traffic here. Big line of traffic. red. But I do like how they are getting licensed cars and pickup trucks for the module. It is pretty nice. And then I'm curious, are we going to see licensed cars in AI traffic other than the semi-trucks? Like this car that's in front of me, that's clearly a Dodge Charger, or the Cadillac that's in front of it, but they change it to avoid copyright. So they changed a few things on it. Will those cars eventually be licensed cars? I know you can use like Jazzy Cat's traffic mod to replace all the cars, but still. My opinion, the cars are pretty close enough to their real life counterparts. I don't need that. Cannot pull in there. Alright, go ahead and fill on up. $118 gallons, $384. Not bad. We don't have to pay for it. Goes on our company credit card that they gave us, our fuel card. Let's go ahead and go this way. It'd be really cool if they could actually incorporate somehow city streets on the in-game map. For example, this is Martin Luther King Ave. It'd be kind of cool to have that on the map, especially when you're doing like a no GPS challenge. So you can look at the map prior to getting there and knowing what street you need to turn on. So you could literally follow the road markings. That'd actually be really cool. That's kind of cool. There's a light there in the top left corner of the mirror camera. Or if the other side has that. Probably does. We're going to be on 40 for a while. Let us over? No? You're gonna be that type of person? Oh, don't hit me. That Tesla wouldn't let us over. I'm trying to get over to that right lane. Oh, maybe not right now. We'll hold this lane. Right behind that Guymon Mills truck. And of course, now there's going to be a car coming up our passenger side. I need to get over though. Got another one creeping up. Is he letting me over? I think he is. Cool. Thank you, guy. Flash my trailer lights at you. Pay attention to the opposite lane. A lot of traffic backed up there. Not watching what I was doing. exit here in a bit. Break out of our cruise control. Turn on a Jake brake. Stage 1. Let's turn on our directional. We'll start slowing down a little bit. Yeah, let's leave it on stage 1 for right now. There we go. Not bad. Yeah, I think we're going to leave the braking intensity at 50%. Kind of liking it like that. This means we're going to have to pay attention to everything around us, especially way up ahead of us. So we're going to need that time to stop. This load I don't think is too heavy. No, it's severely light. I don't think I even need a Jake brake. But are you going to go? There you go. That's nice of you. Whoa. Sounds like there's a train underneath. I don't see it though. Cedar Point? Yeah, that's a nice looking truck and trailer combo. If I'm not mistaken, we're going to be losing our right lane here. remember correctly, this intersection up ahead is not fun. Sitting there waiting for traffic. Be here a while. Blind corner. Barely see anything. I don't like those. Maybe if I angle the truck a little bit. That's better. I can't really see. I can see around the rear now. Well, that happened. I don't know what these cars are doing. There's just like a major accident right in front of me. Okay, after these cars I can go. I'll be in that number 1 lane. Gotta get in there quick. There we go, made it. To that viewpoint here in Woodward. I really find it weird that you have the exact same mirrors, the cameras for the mirrors on the mirrors that display everything, the camera displays. I don't know why it bugs me, but it just does. Alright, we're going to be pulling it up into here. green truck. Shipex. Yeah, we're gonna run over that curb. Oh well. Not much we can do about that. Alright. Let's take a stroll through Woodward. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I'm going to make a quick adjustment here while that was playing. I was looking up something here, and a couple people on the SCS or Steam forums recommend the braking intensity be approximately 60 to 70%. So we're going to run it on the low end, about 60, just so that way they're not as squishy, but still a little bit more realistic on that end. Better to simulate the air brakes. So, alright, let's go ahead and start making our way. Looks like we got 2 hours. It's over before we get there. Clear both directions. Good on that bus for not blocking the intersection. Albert. Okay. Lane here. we got plenty of time. turn. Alright, where are we going with this? Right there, that dock. Okay. This is gonna be fun. I don't like this particular place. So you gotta do a blindside back to get in there properly. So you're gonna have to really watch that. I got a big sleeper cab, so it's gonna be a little hard to see this. And go forward. Start turning it in a little bit more. First I gotta make it a little extra challenging, putting that truck right there. Way to the right. Pull forward. There we go. There we go. That's a long train. Alright, go ahead and drop a trailer. There we go, 243 miles, earning 231, so not the best price, but we got 292 XP, 392 XP for that, so can't complain too much. And we leveled up. So we are going to go to fragile cargo first thing, just so we can unlock it. So there we go. So that is going to be it for this episode of the owner-operator series here in American Truck Simulator. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, be sure to show your support by hitting that like button, and subscribing if you have not already. Forgive me, I am tired. It's been a long day, and it is 2 a.m., the time of recording this. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys down the road in the next video.